Yep, that's right, I'm doing this one as an old school style micro-review, or at least the equivalent of a micro-review considering how long my videos typically are these days. Not as a short, though, because I do actually have a couple of meaningful things to say about this episode. Though, end of the day, what is there to analyze about this episode? Like, there's 1.5 things. Max. It features the Titans East, which is good. I lament relatively often that we don't see enough of them. But it also features Control Freak as the villain, and I just don't care for him at all. I don't find him funny or entertaining, and really the only reason he's menacing at all is because his powers, his technology-based powers, are so ill-defined that he can do basically whatever the plot demands of him. Which is not even a thing that I like when the powers of the villain come from magic, so why would I like it when their powers come from technology? That said, I did like all 3 acts of this episode. It's broken up basically into 3 relatively distinct acts. The first explains that the Titans East are coming to the main Titans Tower to look after it and the city, while the main Titans are off fighting the Brotherhood, only to discover a Control Freak waiting for them there, having intended to subject each of the 5 core Titans to specific challenges geared towards countering their specific powers. Challenges which clearly and probably wouldn't have actually worked against them anyway. And considering that I don't like the guy, it was nice seeing him get shown up by the Titans East as if it were basically nothing, at which point he just pieces out, leaving them to stand around the tower and wonder what the heck's going on. This costume could really use a trucker hat. Then there was a second act in which the Titans East just went about their days, doing regular Titan stuff in the city, facing the fact that the people don't really know who they are, but still doing good in spite of that, while Control Freak did literally the only funny thing he's ever done, and watched their exploits and then discussed them on a Teen Titans fan board. And then for the third act, it was nice to see the Titans East actually prove themselves publicly over video against Control Freak's challenges that were specifically geared towards them and their powers. Like, again, even at his best, he wasn't much of a challenge for them, but it did give these minor characters who aren't used enough in this show a chance to show off the fact that they are worthy Titans, that they're worthy of the name. And for someone who has even a cursory knowledge of the Titans comics like I do, seeing a team of Titans made up of people who are not the core from this show doesn't feel weird to me. I don't look at a group that doesn't consist of Robin, Starfire, Cyborg, Beast Boy, and Raven and think, those aren't the real Titans. But someone who has only seen the show might. And so I thought it was cool that we got at least one more, because I don't remember if we see him again before the season's over. But I like that we got at least one more episode with the Titans East, especially in a season which is celebrating the Titans as a whole, one which made them look really good. And even though I don't really like Control Freak, even as a villain, it was kind of cool to see him become fans of the Titans East the way that he's fans of the regular Titans, because even if he is their enemy, he's still also their fan as well. Getting so excited about the fact even that he teleports himself right in front of them and basically gives himself up. It was a nice way to end things off. And some of his gags in this actually worked, like using his magic remote control to switch Más y Menos from Spanish language mode to English language mode so we could understand them, was genuinely funny. All in all, though, there wasn't much to this one. There weren't any overarching themes that need to be analyzed and assessed. This was just a comedy-oriented episode of this show that featured some non-standard characters and worked pretty well.